Hello and welcome. This is Damien from Stars Like You, and you are about to join us on a short introductory video into Mercury. So we're going to look at the planet Mercury and some of the main themes or issues that come up for us in terms of where Mercury sits in the astrology chart. And this is a little bit of a snapshot or a preview of what the students in our online school will be learning. So you're just getting a sneak peek into one of the classes. So I hope you enjoy. All right, so Mercury governs themes to do with analysis, communication, and then the synthesis of information. So you can think about the Mercury principle as being concerned with the gathering of information and then doing something practical with that or turning that into some kind of output. So here we have Mercury's symbols and signs, and this is really important for you to know. So first of all, Mercury's glyph or symbol, you can see that there on the left-hand side of the screen. And Mercury's signs. So each of the seven traditional or what are called visible, each of the seven visible or what are called traditional planets have rulership over a particular sign of the zodiac. And so Mercury rules the signs of Gemini and Virgo. And another really important piece of information for any of the planets that we're looking at from an astrological perspective, it's also important for us to know how quickly they move, they orbit the sun, and so how quickly they appear to move against the backdrop of the zodiac. So Mercury has an average speed of around 1 degree of the zodiac per day, meaning Mercury will make its way around or through all of the 12 zodiac signs in the space of 1 year. So your Mercury sign shows how you process information. So if that's the take home for today, that's the one thing you remember about the Mercury's placement in your chart. Mercury shows how you process information, and all of the detail around that will come from looking at the combination of the sign in which Mercury is placed and also the house in which your Mercury is found. So we can break that up a little bit further and we can look at Mercury's nature in order to understand some of the psychological principles that Mercury represents. I'll just say to you at this point, it's really, really useful to understand that when astrologers are talking about planets, we don't think for a moment that planets come into your bedroom at night and put ideas in your head and make you do something. So I'm not suggesting for a moment that Mercury makes you do or say anything. The idea that astrology is putting forward is there's a connective pattern between the structure of the psyche and the structure of the cosmos or solar system. So we look at the planets in like we would a pattern. It's a collection. It's a focus point for a series of vibrations, if you want to call it that, which coalesce in terms of the psyche around themes to do with communication, information, etc., etc. So when I'm talking about Mercury's nature, I don't think that the planet Mercury has a character or a flavor about it, not at all. The themes or issues that we associate with Mercury have to do with this particular aspect of psyche. And so Mercury's nature is seen to be amoral, versatile, and adaptable. So what that means is Mercury doesn't have a religious, philosophical, family-oriented, patriarchal, matriarchal position on anything. The Mercury principle is to adapt to the moment, which means that there's no right or wrong. There are just eternal shades of grey. So people that have a strong Mercury in their chart or an emphasis on particularly Gemini, but sometimes Virgo, they'll be people who are completely aware of the endless shades of grey. And so there's never one way of doing anything. Now, in terms of psyche, Mercury governs how we process information, as I've said, and then share that with the world around us. So it's translation, the principle of translation. On the one hand, your Mercury sign describes your communication style, as well as the kinds of things that interest you. So that's quite important. If your Mercury is an earth sign, you may find you're very interested in tangible or practical things. If your Mercury is in a water sign, you may find that you're very interested in the mystical, the mysterious, sometimes the emotional, etc., etc. Your Mercury sign is also showing the ways that you synthesize information. So it describes your way of processing information and then translating that into a tangible result. So what we mean here, it's also the ability to absorb the details, develop a plan, and then translate that plan into action. And we see this best expressed through Mercury's rulership of the sign of Virgo. So for those of you who are familiar with the themes of Virgo, you see this principle of translating information into outcome best expressed here within this sign. It's the sign of process, synthesis, and translation. Great. All right. So what does it all mean? What's the point of all of this? So I would say to you, probably one of the best reasons for you to explore the position of Mercury in your chart, so your Mercury placement, is to understand what right stimulation looks like for you. So as the slide says, happiness comes from the right stimulation. Your Mercury sign symbolizes what engages you and keeps you feeling connected to the world. So it's what stimulates you, what keeps you feeling is, oh, I'm interested in that. I want to know more. What else is there? So just like the image we're looking at on the screen, it's that sense of growth and development that comes from exploring new information or mastering new skills. Great. All right. So just to sum up, put simply, your Mercury sign and house shows what you are interested in, how you process information, and the ways that you translate this for others. There you go. So that's a little bit of an introduction into Mercury and how Mercury works in the astrology chart. If you want to go deeper, if you want to join us in a class and really understand what astrology is all about and how to interpret your own chart and other people's charts, then join us at the Stars Like You Astrology School. Just jump on the link that you'll find beneath this video, or you've got one there on screen. Have a look. It's really simple. Anyone can get involved. Simple payment terms, easy delivery. We've broken it down into a step-by-step process so that learning astrology and absorbing all the amazing information that's out there becomes something that anyone can do. Thanks very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you again in another video. Bye for now.